Guys, and welcome back to yet another episode. Karibuni sana. Na finally after kupoteana sana, amepotea sana kwa scene. Happy New Year wakili Maina Kamunya.
Happy New Year.
Uko salama?
Kabisa.
Naona kung'adi omig.
Neema ya Mungu.
Na kupiga luku au bahatishagi.
How are you?
Niko salama. Na nimekutafuta tena at least tuzungumze mawili matatu ya kisiasa na pia tujue Kenya iko namna gani. Nimekuwa nikikufuatilia sana pale kwa TV. Na sijui hebu abia watu wanakupataga wapi.
Utanipata kwa TikTok Maina Kamunya / kwa Kiriwaro Rere. Utanipata FB Maina Kamunya. Ina social media utanipata huko. But I'm not that so active kwa FB. But if you text me via the messenger nitapata nini yako. Yes.
Na ofisi pia uko pale town?
Tuko town na tuna ofisi nyingine ya Ruiru.
Asante sana. So the reason why nimekutafuta ni kwa sababu watu wanasemaga kwa siasa hakuna permanent friendship na pia hakuna permanent enmity. Juzi tumeona Raila Amollo Odinga, the official opposition leader wa hapa Kenya, wakiwa na President William Samoei Ruto na President Yoweri Museveni. But pale kwa Facebook leo Raila amesema kila mtu alikuwa ameenda kwa Museveni na nia tofauti, yeye na president wakapatana huko. But kuna watu wameanza kuona labda kama hii ni betrayal. Unajua kama for example side ya Mount Kenya region wanaona labda pale kuna a hidden agenda. However, we all know kuna history ya AU na chairmanship na maybe Raila angetaka kupata ile kiti.
I think from where I sit, my observation is that the picture or that meeting I can conclude on around two or three things. One, it have portrayed Raila as a political conman, as somebody who cannot be trusted, as somebody who does not have permanent friends, who cannot keep friends, as a user. He just uses you when he needs. He's a friend of convenience. When once he's done with you, he no longer cares about you. Two, he have also portrayed Raila as a person who is so selfish. Somebody is only who cares about his stomach and his family. And I think from now henceforth, he'll have a very hard time convincing people beyond rules that he can be trusted politically. Because I think from where I sit, I think Raila is the cheapest politician you can ever buy in Kenya. The easiest. Because he was able to be bought by Moi, he was bought by Kibaki, he was bought by Uhuru, and he has now been bought by Samoei Ruto, the president. So I think he's just a political puppet of anybody who comes in power.
You know, some people argue that Raila Amollo Odinga is one of the patriotic Kenyan that you have leaders, a leader who is patriotic in a sense that instead ya hii vita yote ama kukue na chaos ama zile maandamano zinakuaga pale, ana set aside his political interest ama personal interest kwa niaba ya Kenya.
No, I think we did a video a long time ago with you, and I told you, if you look at the political journey of Raila Amollo Odinga, you'll conclude on one thing. He mobilized the whole country, the whole brigade that trust in him, hiding behind their interest, but what is at the heart of him is his own personal interest. Once he gets his own personal interest, he doesn't care about anything else. Remember, we did Maandamano and we lost so many souls. Just the other day, so many young people died. They were shot by police. They died. But after that Maandamano and everything, he told Kenyans that the reason why we are doing Maandamano is because of the cost of living was high, and he wanted the cost of living to be brought down by the government. After they formed the bipartisan committee, unfortunately, the cost of living was nowhere among the agendas that was being discussed. And eventually what they come up with is a proposal to have the positions for Prime Minister, official opposition leader, but nothing for Kenyans, only for the leaders. So I think Personally, for me, I think Raila have never fought for Kenyans. He only fight for his own personal interest. He is not a good example for any person who we can say that he is truly a politician, a patriotic Kenyan.
But before, I remember when we were young, during multi-party democracy, Raila alikuwa in the forefront. But again, I want you to maybe conjoin these two. His name is about to be forwarded pale kwa AU na vigorous campaign iko ready kufanyika pale ndio at least tuone one of the leaders kutoka East African community ama countries akihold your position ya AU.
I think personally from where I sit, I'm not a prophet of doom, but I don't think he will win. Because you see, and I want to ask you and my fellow Kenyans a good example. Have you ever seen Raila go to Tanzania for just an official visit to President Samia Suluhu? Have you ever seen him go to Musalia Mudavadi? No, Museveni. We were around yesterday. Have you ever seen him with Kagame? Have you ever seen him with Tshisekedi for DRC? Have you ever seen in Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Sudan? Raila have no friends in Eastern Africa. In fact, I'm sure if we shall, because I've heard that Djibouti have a candidate. And Tanzania, I don't know whether they will front Jakaya Kikwete, the former president. But I'm sure if they front Jakaya Kikwete, he will be the person who will shut down Raila Amollo Odinga. Because you see, he will be fronted by the current president, Dr. Samuel Ruto. The government of William Samuel Ruto is not in good relationship with majority of the Eastern Africa community nations. Do you know that? You're not in good terms with Rwanda. You're not in good terms with Tanzania, Uganda. So I don't think for their own interest he may be able to win. Two, their fellow countries, especially the West, who have conducted coup, right? We have Burkina Faso, Niger. If you look at the response of the president, I think anytime we have had a coup in Africa, the first person who condemned those coups is our president. So do you think those presidents who are already in power through coup will vote for a candidate from our president?
It will be very hard.
They won't. So I don't think Raila stand a chance, but it's good for him to try. I think it is a political trap for him, because if he fails on that political position, then he will carry the baggage or the burden or a billboard of a failure, both internationally and also locally. Because how remember now, he's been supported by the president and some few fellow presidents in Africa. So if he misses this opportunity, and he have missed 5 attempts for presidential candidate for presidential election, I don't think he will stand any other political chance in the future.
Do you think this is a trap for 2027 politics? Kwa sababu tumeona even Kenya Kwanza MPs they are backing up Raila Amollo Odinga. So wanaona akitoka hapa kwa hizi siasa, Kalonzo akikuja watampiga.
You see, and that's something Kenyans are not understanding. If you go and read the requirement for that position, we should the support from the government already portrays a deep interest in Raila winning that position, and their interest is not the interest of Africa. I don't know whether you understand this. The William Ruto government supporting Raila Amollo Odinga is not pro-Africa agenda. It's their selfish agenda. Do you get? Because they don't want Raila to be in the ballot 2027. And other African nations already know that. So you can't take your baggage and bring to us. You get?
What if he fails and comes back and run for presidency?
Allow me to finish. You can't take your baggage and your burden as a nation and deposit it in the garbage of Africa. Because I think they already know why Ruto is fronting Mr. Raila Odinga. Two, Raila does not have any history. Have you ever seen him spearhead any peaceful dialogue in any nation in Africa?
Tricky sana.
No, it's tricky sana. Have you ever seen him?
I've never.
But you have seen Kikwete. You have seen Uhuru. You have seen other candidates. So whoever will be fronted, those are the qualifications that other nations will look at before they conclude who they're going to support. But so I think Raila Amollo Odinga is a gabo for him.
Higher. NHIF rebranded to SHIF. Na Kenyans are about to be taxed come July, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Starting June, July, yes.
Yes, 2.75%. What do Kenyans expect from this?
I think the policy itself is good, but I have one issue with it. There's a phrase wanasema that if you default paying today, by tomorrow the amount will be doubled. The constitution does not allow that, and Kenyans go read Article 29 of our constitution. It doesn't allow that, because you see now when it's like a punishment. How will you be able to know how much I'm supposed to pay as a Jua Kari person? How will you be able to assess that I'm supposed to pay the 300 or above according to my? So I think it's a good idea, but it need a lot of stakeholder involvement, so that we may come with the final policy must be inclusive and better than the current one. Because you see, you want to include anybody or everybody, both the employed and unemployed. And I can tell you for sure, where money lies is not in the employment. Majority of people who have a lot of money are not in the employment. They are only in the private sector, the Jua Kari. Now, if you only focus on the employed, this person, because they are easier to catch because any salary yake nitakatwa to direct. But if somebody like you who may not have a pay slip, how would the government be able to assess how much you're supposed to pay at the end of the month? So there's a lot of ambiguity that need to be cleared before that regulation comes into force. But I think from where it sits, ni vizuri, but also another issue, wanasema you have to register, everybody have to register again. How sure are we if I'm supposed to register again? Remember, there are people who pay NHIF. Like personally, if I'm paying, I pay for a whole year. You pay once, kama umeondokea. So how sure am I if they cannot be able to transfer my name from the previous record to the now record, the new record? Lazima ni register tena. How am I sure that my finances didn't nimelipa pale that will be transferred to the other side? So I think those are the things that need to be looked upon before it come to force.
Haya, finally, before I let you go, the dollar is a little bit trying to stabilize, na pia tumeona gava imelipa Eurobond, na kuna critics wamesema na kuna political analysts wanasema we have just postponed our problem kwa sababu yenye tumelipa maybe haikuwa na interest rate ya juu sana kuliko hii yenye saa hii tumepewa, na maybe tumepostpone tu shida, hatujasuluhisha our own problem. So do you think maybe the economy itaweza kuamka ama shilingi yetu bado itajipata pale tu?
I think we are not still safe as a nation economically, because if you look at where we are, look at the budget that is being proposed now, 4.something trillion budget. Where did that money come from?
Kwa mifuko ya watu na pia tukope.
So can I ask you a question? If you are not earning enough money to cater for your own budget currently, should you go ahead and increase your expenditure, or should you decrease your expenditure?
Reduce.
You should reduce. But you see now what you have done, you have increased. So eventually it means we shall borrow more than you have already borrowed. So I think we need to come back to our drawing board economically, because I don't think we are still safe. Kenyans are still crying. The common mwananchi maisha yake bado ni ngumu sana. Ukiuliza kumtaani sahi the value of 1,000 is almost zero, right? So, and if you compare how many people are able to make 1,000 every day, not live around 1,000, how many people are able to make 500 every day? There are very few Kenyans.
Haya, finally hapa Kiambu kuna shida mingi sana. Na senator ameamua lazima amulike pahali shida iko, kwa sababu yeye ndiye ana oversight ama ako pale kwa Senate ajaribu ku oversight huko kwa governors na nini, na amesema ile pesa inakuja hapa Kiambu inaibiwa, hakuna paperwork inafanywa, watu wanapewa sijui, then kuna watu wanaokota pesa through vitabu. So ile pesa haiko accounted for, ile pesa inapelekwa pale kwa county, kuna taabu mingi sana pale kwa county. Na akasema EACC waharakishe before Kiambu lose billions of money.
I think it's very unfortunate for our senator, and I've seen many times, if there's one person that we voted that we shall regret for the last 4 years remaining, is our senator. He doesn't know how the Senate works. He is very clueless. He is aimless. He doesn't have anything to do other than just follow the president, the deputy president, take opportunities in their platforms, say useless things, incite Kenyans, or the Kiambu residents, but nothing substantial that comes from him. And I have challenged him many times, and I wish this get to him. We have a problem as a society. You looked at when the president was here, all right? Did you see how those meetings turned up to be?
It was very ugly.
Very ugly, very unfortunate. Because you see now, the deputy president himself was not able to regulate these MPs and senators. They were attacking Governor Wamatangi in front of the president, also the deputy president. Who was supposed to regulate who was giving the microphone? It was the deputy president. So he had the authority to tell the senators and the MP, please stop fighting Wamatangi where he is here. If you have a problem, come to me, all of you as the members of parliament, the senator, the women rep, and also the governor. Come to my office, we discuss. But you remember the meeting that they had before they came to Kiambu, this meeting, I saw this picture when they were in Karen. The MP for Katun North was not there. I think Wamratha was there.
Kororius, ni independent.
Kororius was not there, but he was a member of parliament from Kiambu County. The governor was not there, right? And some few other members of parliament. So it tells you, even when the deputy president was preparing to come in Kiambu, he left out the governor and some other members of parliament. So I think, holistically, Kiambu have a problem. And unless it is addressed to the root, 4 years down the line, we shall be wasting our time. Because you see, I've seen Kenyan Wamatangi and some other members of parliament, wanasema wanaenda kufungua soko pale Gatundu, pale Githunguri kwa Wamushomba. They have not invited the Wamushomba and the governor. So remember, the soko is devolved. So once you come and launch the soko, under whose management do you leave the market? For governor. Yes. So if you don't involve the governor, what have you done? So I think there's a lot of misuse of our constitution. They're trying to look for relevance in whichever way.
Do you think sasa kuna vita ya Wamatangi na majority leader Kimani Ichung'wa?
I think so, and also Wamatangi, Ichung'wa, and also the senator. Vita yao ni kubwa na si ya mahana. They are not fighting about serving the people of Kiambu. They are fighting about their own personal interest. And I think Wamatangi, because Wamatangi, from where I sit and ukiangalia his political strategy is so well. Yeah, fight now. He's concentrating on what he's supposed to do, and I think that is the way to go. Because who determines who becomes the senator next time? Is the population. Who determines who becomes the governor? Ni wananchi. So you should continue serving your focus should be on serving the common mwananchi who will elect you as a governor or a senator or a member of parliament. So I think their war is useless. It doesn't add value.
Give us your final thoughts na your parting shot ndio tumalizie hii video.
I think my parting shot to Kenyans is just to wish them it's my first time to be here this year. So just want to wish them a very, very prosperous 2024. Manze ijipe, Mungu neema yake itutoshe, tutie bidii, ukipata opportunity manze tia bidii, because now majority of us, especially the young people, I'm very much aware that the biggest population, they are jobless, they are struggling outside here, kutafuta kibarua hapa na pale. Manze kile kidogo umepata, tumia vizuri, save, kuna kesho. Na ukipata ka opportunity manze itia rafiki yako, usikure peke yako. Finally, kwa our leaders, remember you voted for you. We are the one who voted you. So take it to your heart. Let it be a priority to serve the people. Don't fight for useless things. Let your agenda be how the lives of Kenyans will be transformed positively. Because the more you fight, the more you will lose development. And finally, to the people of Kiambu, the Mount Kenya region holistically. Miona venye kimeenda sasa hii wanasema Gachagua kwa nje, wale wako sasa Raila ameshaingia bedroom tena. So nitujipange. As a mountain we need to have we need to sit down, organize, strategize, because if we lose number 2 come 2027, it's guaranteed we have lost 2032. So we have to maintain 2027 for us to be sure that we can have a presidential candidate come 2032. So I wish you all the best and God bless Kenya.
Thank you so much. Until next time, I was your host, Mheshimiwa Bendawa.